Hello everyone and welcome to the Kansas Speedway for the running of the Champions 300 to finalize this Crown Royal Truck Series season. 19 races have gone by with some great action, but we are here for the final race at Kansas, just like always, in the CRTS and the NSDCA. Alex Benyako starts on pole in the number 83 for the final time this season. Jay Jefferson rolling off in that second position. Jefferson entering this race 15 points behind Peter Onjack. Onjack starting in 10th. If Jay was to win this race with max points, that is the minimum place Peter would have to finish. If they tie in the point standings, Jefferson gets the tiebreaker for his 3 wins to Onjack's 0. So that consistency might come back to bite Peter. But we got a ton of drivers in the field today. A lot of good racing. 45 entered this weekend. 5 went home. Antoine Smith locks up the Rookie of the Year honors. He rolls off in the 3rd position today as Jesse Turner failed to qualify for the event for the Onjack number 47. There is no chance that anyone will be able to pass the 00 in the point standings now, with Turner being the only one near him. Austin Johnson 7 points back with only 6 rookies in the race, will not get him enough points. So Antoine Smith is your Season 6 Rookie of the Year. Sebastian Kookalon is not out of this one yet. 30 points back means he'd have to really finish. He'd have to win this race in dominant fashion, and Onjack and Jefferson both finish outside of the top 25. But Kookalon still has a shot at this. So does Roger Ray. So does Riley Spurleytube. Those guys sit 32 and 34 points back. Same situation as Kookalon. We're not going to be looking at those guys unless that 44 has a major issue, and the 48 even isn't running up front. Logan Bradley in 6th for Zachary Racing. A great run in that 57 car. Stephen Wallace Jr. rolls off 8th. There's Spurleytube in 7th. Great run for Luke Rainey in 9th, but Peter Onjack has been leading the chase all season long, ever since Mosport. This 44 team's been bad fast, bad consistent, but Jay Jefferson right behind him in the standings, ahead of him in this race. We'll see if Jay will be able to capitalize and win the title, or will Peter take home his 2nd NSDCA victory. Shout out to Joseph Strigley rolling off in 17th today in that number 63 GMC Sierra. He is in that 17th position. Not an oval guy by any stretch of the imagination. He is a road course ringer. But this 63 team has really improved lately, and he's now sitting in that 17th position, ready to roll off and possibly go on to another top 20 finish, try to get some momentum heading into next season for that team. Logan Cloud, 19th, your defending winner here at Kansas. If you can't tell as well, we are under the lights for the first time in a few years. Nice to see the lights back on these trucks here at Kansas. Kev Shearer making his final start in the NSDCA, rolling off in the 21st position. Just hoping for a good run. The last time he was at a track of this shape, 1.5 mile oval at Chicagoland, he almost won the race. But we'll see if he can get up there, play some strategy again today, possibly get himself into victory lane. William Duncan goes to the Cup Series next season. He rolls off in the 25th position. We'll see if he can run well. And Adam Mitchell, who ran runner-up to Priya McShane at Chicagoland, rolls off 26th. Looking the rest of the way, there's Roger Ray, 32 points back. He starts this race very far back, though, in the 29th position. Gonna need a miracle to win the title is all we can say about it. But he's had a great season nonetheless for his rookie, his actually 2nd season, technically, in the NSDCA. Colton Yeo, Alex Fletcher at the back. There's Alex Peters, who's had just an awful season. He rolls off 38th, trying to end this chase after he had 2 wins this year. But we do have 40 drivers for 67 laps around the Kansas Speedway. We're ready for the Champions 300. Let's go head down trackside for the commands to fire the engines at the Champions 300 at the Kansas Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
With that, the engines are fired. We're rolling off for 40 drivers for the 67 laps at the Kansas Speedway. This track has always put on a show. A couple of years ago, in the inaugural Crown Royal Truck Series finale, it was a spin and win for Blake Maurice to win the title after Yepes pretty much dumped him on a restart. Then you had 2 years ago when Diego Yepes got turned by Brandon Morris trying to help out Burkhardt to win the title. Burkhardt ended up having a mechanical failure, and that gave Yepes the title. And then, of course, last year, Carson Bowers running just where he needed to be to win the championship. Jay Jefferson starts 2nd. Peter Onjack starts 10th. That's the battle for the championship right now. But you got a couple others looking at that. Kookalon, Spurleytube, and Ray could all win the title if the 48 and 44 end up taking each other out. But Right now, Onjack has the cards in his hand. Jefferson has to drive as fast as he can, but Onjack just needs to keep his consistency. The only problem for that 44 team, he hasn't had a bad race in the chase yet, and usually at least everyone does. So we'll see if that 44 can hang on up in front here. Benyako versus Jefferson, some of the best of the business out in front. Green flag is going to fly. 67 laps, and Kansas is green. We're racing at the Kansas Speedway. Down the back straightaway they go. Benyako in the race lead. Jefferson second. Antoine Smith third. Kookalon versus Lane now for that fourth position. Riley Spurley back in sixth as Jefferson's going to make short work of it. He wants to get every bonus point he can. Side by side with Benyako for the race lead. That's going to be the 83 out in front, but here comes the 48 to the inside, and Jefferson's going to clear into that race lead and start pulling away. Not what Onjack wants to see, as Onjack now is back in the midst of the pack. Where is the 44? There he is right there in that 12th position. So right there, I believe that'd be the championship fight over as they run. Antoine Smith now, the Rookie of the Year, trying to win in his rookie season. He's up to second as Kookalon dives to the inside. Kookalon and Spurley have every right to race up in front. They still have a chance at the title, but really everyone does. Even Smith and Benyako, who haven't been a part of the chase, even Rainey, they can still try to pad those stats and get a race win. They don't have to let these championship guys run away with this fight, but Jefferson wants to run away with this race. He's out in front in that 48. Kookalon clearing to second. Spurley third. Benyako fourth. Now battle between Lane and Antoine Smith for that fifth position. Austin Murray up to seventh. Rainey eighth. That is Diego Yepes in the 17th, a Crown Royal Truck Series champion. He sits, I believe that's the 9th position. And now Onjack back into 10th. So right there, Onjack running where he needs to be. 10th place will lock him up a title no matter what. If Jefferson doesn't win, doesn't get the most laps led bonus point, then Onjack would have to finish 11th or better, because again, you cannot tie. He cannot tie Jefferson. He would lose the tiebreaker. So up now, 5 laps into this one. Jefferson out in front. Now Kookalon going to look to the inside. We'll see if Sebi can get his nose to the bottom. Not going to happen as the 48 slams the door, but Jefferson knows how fast these trucks around him are. He needs to win this race. He can't really do anything else but win this race. 76 is on pit road, and the 24 was on pit road. So Kev Shear's his debut or his final race of his career is not going to go smoothly. Nicky Morris on pit road as well, and that's 76. Now the battle for the lead is Kookalon's going to look to the bottom of the 48, and there he goes looking for that spot. He's going to clear him. Kookalon clear into the lead. And now Spurley fighting Jefferson for that second position. That's teammates there that have not worked at all during the last few weeks of Crown Royal Truck Series competition. Now Spurley clears Jefferson into that second spot. And Spurley is a 2-time winner so far. He could go and match Eli Bright's record of 3 in a row if he wins today here at Kansas. Antoine Smith in 4th. Battle for 5th between Lane and Benyako. There's Onjack now 3 wide with Murray and Rainey as Rainey pushes up. Murray's going to get into the outside wall in that 91 truck as he's going to drop back. Now he's going to lose a ton of time, and that's going to hurt that 91 badly. Not happy now with Rainey as that truck's been looking very tight during this race so far. And Onjack ripping the outside. He's going to clear both the 71 and 17, and that is 8th position for Peter. So he is right now doing what he needs to do as Jefferson's back to the race lead in that 48 truck. Now you got Spurley fighting. You got TSR versus SBR versus the one Sauber Racing Team driver, and Monster Motorsports trying to get themselves in the mix in that 60 truck. Onjack up to 7th, doing what he needs to, trying to defend as best he can. But you still got to remember, we got a long way to go in this race. 60 laps left, 59 this time by as the 48 truck's out in front. We got a couple lap trucks. William Duncan has some front end damage. Something must have happened that we didn't see because the 29, 76, 24 are all damaged. Now Toby Christie is down pit road in the 36 truck. So back markers just dropping like rocks so far. I don't know what happened. There must have been a big one or something that wasn't called for a caution, because we have had multiple drivers damaged, and already that 29 team Duncan not happy. He just doesn't want to be in this truck anymore. I don't know why they put him back in it for Kansas. But he is back in that truck as Jefferson now pulling away by a large margin in that 48 truck. It doesn't matter how much he dominates. It won't change that he might still lose the title to Onjack if Onjack can just get a top 10 finish. But he's fighting a championship rival in the Cup Series, Diego Yepes. At least he was until Charlotte. he ended up losing that. He won at Charlotte, but he lost big time after an Iowa crash, and then then Onjack just having a pretty good Charlotte run. So Yepes now just trying to run this 17 truck as best as he can for SBR in their final start with Yepes this season. Now Peter's going to go back to the outside, trying to get that momentum, and it does. He's been ripping that outside line a lot. Looking very good and very strong in that 44 truck. We'll see if he can continue that pace as we go. There's Christie and Duncan now behind Jefferson, as Jefferson has opened up a giant lead. 11 laps into this, 2 seconds ahead. So this 48 truck showing the dominance it had here last season. But again, it just does not matter. Onjack needs to finish outside of the top 10, and Jefferson needs to win this race. That's how that championship's gonna be decided. But I don't think Onjack's finished outside the top 10 at all during the chase. This 44 truck's just been way too consistent in both the Cup and the Truck Series, and Onjack is just trying to possibly sweep both the Cup and Truck Series titles this year. If he does, he'd be the first driver with 3 titles in all 3 divisions, as he won the inaugural Mountain Dew Custom Series Championship. Now he's fighting for the Truck and Cup Championships, running in as the points leader in both. We'll see if he comes out of these races as the points winner. Benyako, Lane, Antoine Smith, Duncan now all fighting Onjack, as that's mostly for position except the 29. Lane's going to throw down in front of Onjack. Real close there. They might be 3 wide coming on through. 29's going to drop back. Now Benyako and Yepes real close. That's contact between the teammates as they come off the corner. They keep it straight, but that was almost big between the 2 SBR drivers as they pull away. Now there's Christie, Spurley-Tube, Kookalon up there as Jefferson absolutely out to a rocket ship. Flyby here as you see the distance from first to second and all the way back. You're a bit spread out up front, and then you just got a gaggle of trucks back here fighting each other, and some of the slower trucks at the back just kind of pacing around at their own speed. 14 of 67 complete here at Kansas. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Bring you guys back to the action at the Kansas Motor Speedway. The Champions 300 with Jay Jefferson in the lead and Peter Onjack right now sitting in the 5th position. Jay needs to run faster and Onjack needs to lose some time for that championship battle to change. Jay Jefferson, Sebastian Kookalon, Riley Spurley-Tube, Antoine Smith, and Peter Onjack, your top 5. 15 laps into this race. Go ahead and get you guys to a commercial break. Back live here at Kansas as the big one has just striked and multiple cars involved. Logan Cloud in the 97, further up the 19 of Corbett. I saw one more truck with some very heavy damage, but we're now under caution for the first time in this race. 17 of 67 complete. Jay Jefferson coming down pit road now into that 48 team. They're going to service the 48 truck, try to get him out in front. 4 tires and fuel is going to be the name of the game here. No need to play strategy 17 laps in, maybe around lap 50 or something. But Jefferson, there you go, 2 tires. They're going for the 4 tires now as they go around to the left side. We'll see if that 48 pit crew does very well, and they do. Jefferson will be the first car out. It's going to be Kookalon second, Spurley-Tube third. Onjack's going to pick up some time over the SBR guys. He's going to be 4th. Benyako, Smith, and it looked like Yepes. Also saw Daniel Cobbs up here. Roger Ray's inside the top 15 now, so that's a big gain for a championship contender. The rest of the field coming on by. So 18 of 67 complete, and we have a pretty big accident here at Kansas. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, but bring you guys back to the action after this. We got to take a quick replay before we see that. Jay Jefferson, Kookalon, and Spurley-Tube remain your top 3. The first into the day is going to be the 77 getting turning the 57 around the front straightaway. Logan Bradley goes for a spin, and Joseph Strigley just nowhere to go, straight into the front of him. Cody Goforth, Logan Cloud also pile in. The 19 of Corbett gets a piece of it as well, but heavy damage to the 57-63. Those two are going to be done for the day. You see Strigley back here in the 63, just trying his best to make it through it. Doesn't know where the 57's going. Right into the front of him. Heavy damage to both. Thankfully, both drivers did get out of their truck. And John Dilks, Cordell Smith almost nailed that 63 as he was coming back down the track. On board with the 97 of Cloud as he was following the number 63 here as they come through the corner. And just nowhere to go. Right into him. Nothing to do there. That 57 was just sliding all over, and big damage as the 19 also clips the 97 as he goes around. We are going to be under the first caution of the day here at the Champions 300. Big one here on the front straightaway. Logan Bradley, turned by Austin Johnson, in front of the field. Back live at the Champions 300, going back racing on lap 20. Alex Banyaka with an engine issue in the 83 truck. That's going to cost our pole sitter a top 5 run. That puts Onjack into 4th. Spurley Tube, Kookalon, those are championship contenders between Onjack and Jefferson. Your main two as we come back down, 21-67. We'll be going back green on. Green flags back in the air. Big jump by the 20 and 28. They look to the outside. Not going to happen as that's going to allow the 44 to the inside. Now the 20 is going to make a move. And here we go, side by side into turn 1, and that will be Kookalon to the race lead, and Onjack going right by the 48, making a statement here in the championship race. 3 wide behind him is Antoine Smith, Diego Yepes, and now Jefferson 3 wide. Jay not happy about this one. A horrible restart for the 48 is going to cost him big time, and that's going to put Onjack up to the front. The championship winner, I don't think, has ever won the final race of the season. And Onjack's trying to change that as he's going to go 3 wide. Now Yepes to the bottom as they go for the race lead. This is what Jay wants to see Peter in if something can happen to that 44. But Yepes backs off on the inside. No momentum there. The outside line carries. And that's going to be Kookalon in the lead. Almost in the back of him goes the 44. So Onjack racing very aggressively right now for no reason, with all of his championship rivals right behind him instead of right in front of him. Onjack now holding up the 48. That's the battle for that second position between a bunch of cars. One car around at the back, and it's a big one. One truck upside down. Stephen Wallace Jr. goes flipping and nailed in the driver's side by the 6. They're still wrecking up in front. Colton Yo's in it. Stephen Wallace Jr. heavy damage. Patrick Smith. Cordell Smith. William Duncan. Now Kookalon's going to lead him back. Jefferson, 5th position now. So that restart did not go well for that 48 truck. Banyako's back out a couple laps down. But that is a vicious hit to the 98 truck. Stephen Wallace Jr. flipping. Hopefully he's going to be okay in that 98 truck. Cordell Smith, Colton Yo with some heavy damage. We'll see if anyone comes back down to pit just a few laps after this restart. Kookalon, Yepes, Onjack, your top 3. Spurley Tube, Jefferson, your top 5. Will anyone come down to pit? Looks like the 89 of Morris is going to bring his truck on in. The Valvoline Tundra, Toyota Tundra there. Looks like Adam Mitchell in 12's coming on in. Antoine Smith. Gatlin Downey, Maxwell Fay, John Dilks in the 67, and a bunch more of the back markers. So another heavy incident here at Kansas is going to bring us to the second caution of the day. Kookalon out in front in the Conway Freight, number 20. Second caution of the day is going to be a big one. Starts off with Irving Allison bouncing off the wall. Stephen Wallace Jr. tries to go 4 wide and gets hooked by Austin Johnson. Back up into Patrick Smith, and it flips the 98 over. And now this is the scary part, as he's basically just set up for a driver's side impact from the 6 of Cordell Smith. William Duncan also gets some heavy damage in that, but a heavy hit to the 98 driver. On board with Cordell Smith, he was at the back of this one. You see it happen about mid-pack there on this restart. And they're just spinning, and the 98 gets put on top of the 94 and dragged back into traffic. Heavy hit for both drivers, and Stephen Wallace Jr. has been taken out of his car and taken to a local area hospital. Looking at Alex Fletcher back here, this is the second part of that incident. You saw Colton Yo getting a piece of it, and then he slides back up into Fletcher, and it's going to spin many more around. A big hit for the 32, the 36, 21 also involved. Many trucks around here on the front straightaway, but we are hoping Stephen Wallace Jr. will be okay after a vicious hit here as the truck goes flipping down the front straightaway and nailed in the driver's side for the second caution of the day. We are back live here at the Kansas Speedway. Not much else we can do with that big incident, taking out so many trucks. That most likely will mathematically eliminate Riley Spurley Tube and Roger Ray from the title, though as strong as this 44 truck is running today, it's probably not going to happen. Jay still has a chance. Again, Peter just has to finish outside of the top 10. Really, Onjack finishes outside the top 15, and Jay finishes in the top 3 spots. Should just about do it, but we're coming back to the green flag. 27-67 complete, 40 to go. Kookalon leads with a nice restart there. Jefferson gets a good jump. He's going to be looking around back there in that 4th position to the inside of teammate Riley Spurley Tube. Roger Ray is still in the fight, so he's still trying to just get that first career win, much less a championship trophy. But now Jefferson to the bottom of Onjack. That's your championship fight right there. And it's not really a fight currently. That 44 just has to drop like a rock through the field. But Jay has the speed, has the pace to get up front. He's looking to the inside of Yepes for second. One truck back to the apron. That's the 41 of Anderson Reed. And he was going very low down the front straightaway there. Looking the rest of the way through, we're just trying to make sure that these guys all stay clean and green, and they do, as we now are back up to speed here at Kansas. Now Jefferson coming back after Kookalon, looking for that spot. Onjack back to 5th, Jefferson in 2nd. Not enough big enough swing, but it's starting there. Spurleytube's going to jump back to the inside. Riley in that 28. Will he help Jefferson now try to win that championship now that the 28 is not able to win the title himself? Jay's going to throw it in. He gets a big push from the 28 of Spurleytube. Now Onjack up the track back there. He's going to have to fend off Roger Ray down the back straightaway. Jefferson all over the back of the 20. And now we'll see if Ray will try to make a move on Onjack. Yepes is right behind him. He'll be pushing him out of this corner on that outside line as they go. But here they come off the corner. Still a pack up in front. Kookalon maintains the race lead, but it's about 11 or 12 trucks under a blanket up in front here at the Kansas Speedway. Now Jefferson really on that outside line, ripping the lip in that 48 truck, as now he's going to get a run off the corner, a big run down the back on the outside of the 28. Roger Ray back there now trying to get a move on the 28, trying to push him around as Onjack maintaining that 5th position. Jefferson back into 2nd. He's going to move that 20 truck out of the way soon if Kookalon does not get out of his way. So now Onjack's fighting Roger Ray for that 4th position. Ray was in the chance to win his first NSDCA victory, the Mountain Dew Custom Series finale last season, until Colton Lane, the eventual champion of that Mountain Dew Custom Series season, came out and took the win away from him in the closing laps. Onjack now in 4th, Jefferson in 2nd. Not a big enough gap, but Jay's just hoping something has to go wrong to the 44 truck this season. If not, he'll have to hope that the Cup car has something go wrong with it tomorrow, because that is his fight right there for the title. It is Jay and Onjack right now 1st and 2nd in both the Cup and truck point standings. Looking further back, Zachary DeLello, his final race for his own team. He's fighting Luke Rainey for that 10th position. Looked like the yellow lights were on. They are. Caution is back out on the racetrack once again, and it is Rookie of the Year contender, Rookie of the Year champion Antoine Smith in the 00 as they come off the corner. Now Jefferson looking to the bottom of Kookalon's drag race to the line. 20's going to beat him out there, and we are just about to hit the halfway point of this race. Kookalon, your race leader, as they ran it back, but Antoine Smith does go around in that 00 truck. We're going to line them back up. We'll see if there's any pit stops here, because about halfway. Might be able to make it to the end on a halfway pit stop. Not too sure, though, what the fuel window is. I know in the Cup race, the 94 laps, you're going to be seeing multiple pit stops. But Jay and Spurleytube are about to... I guess that's just favoring championship contenders, because Jay's going to be able to lead them down onto pit road, though Kookalon let him back to the line, so I don't know why that's legal. But Jefferson's going to lead them down. Riley Spurleytube 2nd. Kookalon, Onjack, and Ray are your top 5, and it looks like the whole lead lap group is going to bring it on in. 4 cars are 1 lap down, those being Kev Shearer, Alex Bignacco, Toby Christie, and Nicky Morris, all 1 lap down in there. Jefferson brings it down to the attention of his crew. So that 48 car now, he's going to go to those right side tires. Again, probably 4 tires. I don't know if 2 would be the right call, in all honesty here. But Roger Ray thinks so. He's going to be the first one out. DeLello 2nd. Reed 3rd. Jefferson's going to be 4th. So Johnson's 5th. Bright, Spurleytube, Irving, Allison. Now Kookalon's back outside the top 10. Onjack is outside the top 10, outside the top 15, so that's what Jefferson needs to see. He needs to get up to the front now on this restart, because the 44 might have just been mired back in traffic, though I'm sure he took 4 tires. We'll get a pit update as soon as possible, but we'll get a replay as well. Roger Ray on a strategy call is going to get that 84 into the race lead. A big shakeup in the standings will bring us to the 3rd caution of the day. Let's go ahead, get a quick replay. 3rd incident of the day is a simple one. Alex Peters just gets tired of Antoine Smith, the Rookie of the Year, and spins him into the outside wall. Nothing much else to say about that. The 00 straightens it back out, but a single spin brings us to the 3rd caution. Back live at the Champions 300. 4 drivers under that last caution took 4 tires, those being the 48 of Jefferson, the 28 of Spurleytube, the 20 of Kookalon, and the 44 of Onjack. Onjack sitting in the 19th position. Jefferson sitting 5th. That swing right there would tie them with Jay's bonus lap. No, Onjack has a bonus lap lead, so Jay is one position behind where he'd need to be if this race ended right now. So, the championship is not over. You still have 26 on the lead lap. You still have a chance for Onjack to have his bad race. So we'll see what'll happen. Roger Ray's out in front, though. Will it be the 2-tire call and for the track position to get drivers into victory lane, or will it be the 4-tire call to get that new tires to be able to drive around them as this race progresses? 37 to 67 complete. Coming around, just 30 laps to go at Kansas. Green flag's in the air. A great jump by DeLello, but we're back racing at the Kansas Speedway. And now Jay's not going to wait for anything as Bright looks to his inside. Spurley Tube's on his inside, but Johnson's to his outside. Now Jay's going to get that push off the middle. That would tie them in the standings right now as they run with Onjack being back. Actually, Peter might have just gained like 5 spots already. Yeah, Onjack is already tearing through the field as he's past the 35, 89, and 60. Remember, though, Peter still needs to get a top 10 finish if that 48 can win this race in dominant fashion as Reed is throwing the block on Jay. Jay's not waiting around, going 3 wide with Reed and DeLello, and here they go 3 wide for the second position. Jay trying to get that momentum. Reed now goes up the track, and that will be the 48 truck of Jay Jefferson clear into second as he's fighting for his championship here. Something that was promised to him years ago, multiple times in the NSDCA with how strong his team and driver have been. One truck blowing up. That's Daniel Cobbs in the 25. Another truck gone, lowering the chances for Onjack to finish far enough behind. Now Jay, he's out in this second position. Remember, if you win the race, first to third is a gap of 5 points, plus a bonus point for a lap led. Plus, if he can lead from here on out, if he can get around Ray and lead the rest, he'd get that other bonus point for most laps led. So this championship fight is not anywhere near over. As Onjack, I believe he's now sitting in the 8th position in that 44 truck, but Kookalon back there. Murray. Kookalon's now mathematically out. As the 25 blows up, that will cost him too many points, pretty much to get him out of there. As Jefferson now is your new race leader. He's blown by the 84, but it's those 4 tires on both the 48 and 44 that could get them first and second at the end of this race. Roger Ray, though, is now right behind Jefferson. Will the Onjack driver have anything for him? No. Jay's going to power off the corner, pull away. Spurley Tube's in 3rd. DeLello 4th, Reed 5th. So you got Onjack and TSR guys in this top 10. With Diego Yepes 6th. Onjack now 7th. Kookalon 8th. Peters 9th. And Murray in the 10th spot. Austin Johnson just needs to not be involved in another incident today or we will park him. As the 89 now gets a big run off the corner. There's Morris trying to get back into this championship fight. Trying to get up there and throw his hat in the ring once again. Here, Eli Bright, give Eli it's been a heartbreaking chase for him. Came into this 3 wins in the last few races before the chase, was a dominant competitor, 2nd in the regular season title hunt, and ever since the Chicagoland crash, he's just not been the same in this 8 truck as he's going to look to the inside of Dilks. Big run there, but it's heartbreaking for Eli to be running so well in the regular season and just falter. Just the same as Brady Burkhart, just the same as Roger Ray. They all just have not had their luck go their way in these races. But it is Jefferson out in front now, starting to log off laps. He wants to win this race, but he knows there's really nothing he can do about it. With Onjack 4th, he took those 4 tires. He wasn't going to risk it. From 19th to 4th on that restart, that's showing you how much better these fresh tires are going to be than a 2-tire call. So with this possibly being the last pit stop a while ago, this could be the end of Jefferson's chances as Onjack now clear into 4th and now pulling away as we got a Dodge 1, 2, 3, 4 like it's been most of the season with Dodge dominance. Jefferson out in front, Ray 2nd, Spurley Tube, Onjack, and DeLello, your top 5. Looking further back, there's Kookalon and Murray, 2 other chase contenders who are just kind of running for their championship spot now. They're not fighting for the win of it all. But Kookalon dropping back in that 20 truck. Sad to see Kookalon go. He's going to Shade Burkhart Racing next season in that number, I believe, the 83 or something in the Cup Series. But it was nice to see him finally get into victory lane this year for Sauber Racing Team. Running very strong this season, very competitive, showing that he's still a championship competitor. And this 20 team has been running very well this year. We'll see what it'll do with Riley Spurley Tube at the reins next year in season number 7. Alex Peters in 10th, not the best day he's wanted, but he's running decently enough. He's happy to get this season over. 2 wins is nothing to scoff at Auto Club and Texas. Of course, he's a 2-time winner and right now has won every Auto Club race he's entered in the Crown Royal Truck Series. We'll see if he does return to this 45 truck next season and if he can get himself back into victory lane at Auto Club, which will again be the second race of the Truck Series season. Murray versus Kookalon as they go around Anderson Reed. Onjack's clearing to 4th, so the top 4 are out to their own devices. And DeLello actually in 5th is pretty much out to himself as well. Murray trying to clear into 6th as Kookalon's still fighting back there, but again, just not a big enough gap there. It's a 6-point swing from 1st to 4th, or 7-point swing from 1st to 4th, so it's not over for Jefferson yet, but still Onjack needs to falter. He needs to not finish. He needs to finish outside of the top 10. That's what we've been saying all season, or all weekend long. Nicky Moore's slow in that 76 truck. He's been up to speed. I mean, he's hitting 180. These guys are only hitting about 195 into the corners, I think. Maybe they're hitting 200. But no, it's not a long enough straightaway that you're hitting. You're hitting 190. They're hitting 180. So the 76 truck is fine there. Eric Monaco also slow at the back. Benyako and Smith, who were so strong for SBR early. Smith got spun out. Benyako's had an engine issue. Those two trucks at the back of this one. Alex Fletcher, 23rd, last car on the lead lap. Aiden Smith leaving Monster Motorsports at the end of the season. They raised him up from Molson to the trucks and now have abandoned him, just like Monster Motorsports' development program has been for a while. Dilks, 21st. Brown, 20th. Fay, 19th. That's good for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, just to finish off this season fairly strongly. They're fighting right now, but they do have a championship fighter in Brandon Morris out for the Cup Series event. Eli Bright in the 18th spot. We already talked about him. Irving Allison, 2 wins on the season. The only multi-winner not in the chase this year. He is 12th in the standings right now, chasing down Benyako. It looks like Benyako is going to have 11th locked up, but SBR could have an 11th and 12th place in the championship standings there. Gatlin Downey, Austin Johnson should not be in the chase. That's why they just tore the purple spoiler off of the 77. He's going to be 10th no matter what, and they didn't want to even acknowledge him in the championship fight this year. There's Lane. Adam Mitchell in the 12 is 13th. A great run there. Rainey up inside the top 10 is also a great run. Give Morris a shout out, though, in this 89 truck. He's been running so strongly for Shepherd in this chase event. He's been one of the top 10 best in these chase races somehow for that Shepherd racing team. So it's nice to see that 89 team coming out of nowhere, kind of running very well in their final run that we know of with Morris. Now Ray and Onjack fighting for that 3rd position. We'll see if Ray will just give that up. So we're down to the final 15 laps. Looks like this will be one of the most anticlimactic Crown Royal Truck Series championships we've seen, as Onjack is just ready to race his way to the title right here and go for his 2nd championship. Onjato has never won a title in an even-numbered season. Season 2, Season 4, Season 6. But they have won a title in every odd-number season. Season 1, Onjack's Mountain Dew Custom Series title. Season 3 was Tib Foster's MDCS title. And in season number 5 was Bauer's truck title. So now Onjack looking to break that streak himself. He's in that 4th position, chasing down Roger Reyes. There's a spin in front of him, and this could be it. And it is! Onjack's in the wall. There's your championship contender out of this one as everyone piles in. Morris gets through, and they're all piling in on the final laps here at Kansas. And that's what was needed to possibly give Jefferson a title, but Onjack's going to continue on. Heavy damage to the 44 truck. Spurley Tube's in it. Morris is in it. Ray's in it. Johnson, Peters. This race has been just a crash fest. And Jefferson is in the race lead. There's a ton of torn up trucks. I don't know if this 44 is going to be able to contend or at least be inside the top 15. Depends on how many trucks are even left. Eli Bright's 11th. Onjack could still finish this race top 15 because a lot of trucks just got damaged. And just as we said, this wasn't going to be an this was going to be an anticlimactic finale. Jefferson now sits in the hot seat. If he wins this race, he could still win the title. Onjack sits 11th, but you got Maxwell Fye, Matthew Brown. You got a lot of trucks behind him that don't have as much damage as he does, which could just be enough. But that was a hard hit for everyone. I hope that everyone's okay, but that was some hard hits for a lot of drivers. Spurler Tube's day done. Jefferson, though, is your race leader. We'll see if this 44 team does continue with Onjack out there. And no, they don't. They have taken the 44 truck behind the wall. So all Jay Jefferson needs to do is win this race. And he's got the title in the bag. And lappers spinning in front of the leader is going to possibly cost another title. So many cars are out of this one. We haven't ran at night in a while, and now that we are seeing the chaos under the lights. Onjack out from the 8th position. There's going to be maybe 20 trucks left. This could be the worst race of the season in terms of damage. A lot of trucks involved. We're going to get the update as everyone goes around to see where Onjack will indeed finish. Jefferson should be able to lock up the most laps led now. I think the only ones that could contend with him for that were Kookalon and Onjack. They're both out of this race. And as they go down, Onjack dropping slowly, steadily through this field. Rest of the field coming on around here. Monaco, Brown across the line. So that's going to be, depending on where Toby Christie is in the 36 truck, he's still on the track. So Onjack's going to finish this race. Looks like 21st. So looking at that, Jay needs a top 5 to win the title, and with 10 laps to go, this could be Jefferson's chance at winning a championship. And it's fitting to see the championship finale decided the same way many truck races have been this year. A ton of damage to the 16, a ton of damage to the field. We got 18 trucks out of this one. This is up there with Texas in terms of just attrition, which Texas was not viewed kindly. So the Cup race is in the daytime. Cup race is a daytime race, so that's why they put the trucks at night here at Kansas, but I think they're going to have to reconsider because, wow, we've seen a lot of hits. We're going to take a look at that replay and bring you guys back to the action for the conclusion of the Champions 300. The big one strikes here at the end of Kansas, and it is Nicky Morris cutting off Riley Spurlitube, sending him around, nowhere for the Onjack duo to go, and that is going to cost Peter Onjack his championship this year. Morris also piles in DeLello, Alex Peters trying to get by on the inside. Austin Johnson gets a piece of it. A ton of trucks involved in this one, and a ton of fast trucks too, but Spurlitube goes to the outside, just hooks in front of the 76, and they all start piling in. Heavy damage to all drivers there, and a ton of the contenders. Big hit between the 89 and 28, and thankfully for Spurlitube's incident earlier in his career, that might have saved him there, because that is a hard hit to the front for both of those drivers. On board with championship leader Peter Onjack, and it's not going to be his championship anymore, just piles in, nowhere to go, and that'll be the end of the day for the 44 truck. Some heavy damage, and then I believe he gets hit again by Sebastian Kookalon. That's going to end his day in this 44 truck. Heartbreaking to see Onjack's championship hopes go up in smoke just like that. But Riley Spurlitube trying to lap Nicky Morris, puts him into the outside wall and spins him in front of the field. We're ready for the final few laps here at the Champions 300 here at Kansas. Well, this has been some kind of championship finale. Ending the season just like the trucks have been all year in a absolute crash fest is probably going to decide our champion here. Onjack in 20th. That being said, with a 15-point deficit, as both drivers do have 1 lap led, Jay, if he does lock in most laps led, which I believe he should, all he really has to do is finish 6th or better in that 48 truck to win the title. He's out in front right now. Yepes 2nd, Murray 3rd, Lane 4th, Reed 5th, Adam Mitchell 6th, Luke Rainey 7th, Gatlin Downey 8th, Irving Allison 9th, Eli Bright in 10th, Onjack 20th. So many cars are out of this one. He's actually going to be 21st because Toby Christie's multiple laps down but still on track. So he should be 7th or better for Jefferson, locks him in the title. Green flag's back in the air. And Jay Jefferson is now just a few laps away from scoring his first Truck Series title, his first NSDCA title. A giant jump on him over Yepes. Murray back there in the third spot. Lane and Reed now fighting for that fourth position as they come down the back. Will Yepes have anything for the 48 truck? Can he go up there and get his first win in the truck series? Not in a Monster Motorsports car, as he's now coming through the corner. Now Reed all over the back of him. Jefferson's pulling away. Reed to the inside on Murray, looking for that spot. We're still going 3 wide. These guys are so aggressive for guys that have been crashing all race long. But here they go. Reed to the very bottom. Murray. There is Yepes on the outside. Now Yepes drops back in the 17 truck. He's fighting as they let him go. Jefferson is off into the races and off into the distance. The 48 truck is out in front. He has 7 laps to go before he is finally crowned an NSDCA champion. Looking for the back, there's Irving Allison all over the back of the 12 of Adam Mitchell. The fighting is outside of that race lead. The race lead is gone. This race win is probably over as Murray and Reed fight for second. It's a battle in this pack here all the way on back. So now this race is coming to a close. Rainey, Mitchell, Downey. Lane's going to drop back a little slowly there in that 60 truck as we come on through. Murray and Reed, the top 2, chasing down the man who is trying to win his 4th race on the season and his first NSDCA championship, Jay Jefferson in the 48 truck. Kev Shearer, 18th. Alex Bignacco, 19th. Toby Christie, 20th. 20 trucks left on the track means 20 are out of this one, and that even tops Texas in terms of absolute insanity. And, well, if this is a case for not coming back to night racing at Kansas, this is going to be it, as Jay Jefferson pulling away. Reed 2nd. Murray 3rd, Mitchell 4th, Irving Allison 5th, Downey, Rainey, Lane, Fay, and Bright your top 10. The rest of the field is pretty much not consistent or not speedy enough. But you gotta wonder, you got 4 laps to go. This 48 truck has had those issues all season. Is he pushing too hard? You know Jay wants to get to the victory lane. He wants to get into victory lane. But is he going to push too hard, more than what that truck can handle, and screw up and make a mistake? With 4 laps to go here at Kansas, it's all Jay Jefferson out in front, 2.3 seconds ahead. Coming down the back, Murray versus Reed versus Irving Allison versus the 12 of Adam Mitchell. That's your battle for the top 5 positions. Now Anderson Reed coming around. He's going to use that outside line, trying to get a run on the 91. He's not going to be able to get up there and turn the 44 in enough time. So if that was the Onjack plan, not going to happen. But Reed is leaving Onjack as well. He's going to Monster next season. So a team that he's been with a lot here in that 41 truck. He will be leaving that iconic number 41 that he's built a brand around. But 2 laps to go here for this 48 team. An iconic number that has never gone to a championship. Jay Jefferson for Texas Star Racing 2 more times around, and he is your Season 6 champion of the Crown Royal Truck Series. We said it, Onjack needed one bad day. He needed to have his consistency taken out away from him by someone else because he's just been so good during the chase. And it's that. Nicky Morris just cuts off Spurleytube. You can't even say Spurleytube did that on purpose. He had a run to the outside, and Nicky just went up and blocked him. Nothing you can say about that. But coming to the white flag, looking for his first career NSDCA championship, the Crown Royal Truck Series race leader, Jay Jefferson, takes the white flag at Kansas. Onjack was a threat all day. He was inside the top 5, really, and would not have won the title. Jay would not have won the title if that wreck did not happen, but it did. It cost the 44 everything. Onjack's going to have a chance at the Cup title, but Jay is going to come through 3 and 4. The crowd cheering. He's cheering. TSR finally getting the Top Series title. Crown Royal Truck Series champion for Jay Jefferson. Murray 2nd, Reed 3rd. Mitchell 4th, Irving Allison 5th. Luke Rainey comes home 6th. Jay Jefferson has won the Crown Royal Truck Series title. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Peter finished way too far behind. That's more than a 15-point swing. And Jay finally gets it done. Let's not lie. This was a horrible Kansas race. This is one of the worst we've seen in a while. But that doesn't discount the champion. Jay was stuck in traffic too. He was 5th. He was back where Peter was running that whole time. But he got clear. He had the speed, and he went on and took the race win. And that's, you can't say he wasn't deserving of it. Roger Ray, Peter Onjack have been the class of the field all season long, but, consistency runs out. And Jefferson showed by winning races. Those 3 wins. If he didn't win 3 races in this season, he wouldn't have won this title. That's what it is. The consistency's good, but Jay Jefferson comes out with the championship, his 4th win on the year, and he is a race winner and finally an NSDCA champion. And just as we said in this race, it was going to be anticlimactic. We have that finish. Not many are going to be happy after this one, but Peter and Jay, you can't be mad for Peter. You can't be upset for Peter. He rolled the truck back around. They could have repaired it, but it looks like there was just too much damage to it, and they pulled it in. And Peter would have had this title, and he could have had that Sundrop Cup Series title as well. But now the question is, with one championship to decide, I don't know the Mountain Dew Custom Series championship results, but I do know that the Truck Series has gone to Jefferson. So is the Onjack curse alive? Does Peter have enough to win the Cup Series title and break the Onjack curse once and for all? This whole storyline could be robbed if Kabza has already won the title. Breaking that real quick, you know, it's been hard. But a great season caps off with a decent race, a lot of torn up trucks, a lot of unhappy team owners, but one team owner's happy because he's celebrating in victory lane for his first Crown Royal Truck Series title, and a title that was supposed to be his 6 years ago. He finally comes through, breaks through to win. Jay Jefferson is your season 6 champion in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Peter Onjack should be second. It's a fight on back. You'll see the point standings on your screen shortly. A lot of trucks torn up, some big hits, one driver taken to the hospital, but everyone else has been checked and released from the infield care center, thankfully. Of course, with all the safety improvements, we thank you for watching this. We have one more race to go, the Sundrop Cup Series at the Kansas Speedway for their championship fight in the daytime tomorrow. It's been an exciting season, and who knows if we will be back for season number 7, but we hope that we will. Jay Jefferson comes out as the champion, robbing Peter Onjack from a great championship, but Peter can't be upset about that. He's had such a good season in this truck series. It just unravels right at the end. Jefferson, your champion in Kansas. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time, next season, on the NSDCA.